Hello everybody and welcome back to another day of yoga with Miss Shauna. I am Shauna and today's practice is all about finding your confidence. And I have today's sequence planned out. You'll find there's a lot of warriors, but there's something that I think is so wonderful about warriors is they are strong and they are confident and they're in check with themselves and they're focused and all of those things. When you're feeling like all of that's in alignment, you feel like you can take on the world just like a warrior. So that's where we're going to go today with our practice. If you're already on your mat, great. If not, if you're standing with me, let's lower ourselves down onto the ground just for a few seated poses to get warmed up, sitting nice and tall right away with some breathing. Let's start thinking about our confidence, connecting to that part of us that's a real go-getter, that's strong, that's fearless. Breathing that in and out. And if your eyes are closed, that's fine. If you want to open them up to the room, you can do that as well. Keeping your hands on your knees, we're going to do a few seated cat and cows. So big breath in, opening through that chest. On a big exhale, rounding through that spine. Following your breath pattern of inhale, exhale. As you're breathing in that confidence, that strength, that positivity, that fearlessness. Just a couple more seated cat-cows. And from there, bringing yourself just to a nice neutral, easy seated. Let's just loosen up those shoulders a little bit. We want to be confident with no tension in our shoulders. Nice shoulder rolls back. A couple gentle neck rotations, ear to shoulder, dropping the chin down to the chest, ear to other shoulder. Just loosening it up with some gentle movement. All right, let's give that a big shake out. We're going to bring ourselves up to standing on our mat. Now, I had mentioned when I think of confidence, I think of those warriors. And I would love to encourage you or help you find your breath as you're going through today's poses and really connecting to that breath control and that feeling of just sturdiness because your breath is controlled, your focus is controlled. So try to find that within you, nice, deep, solid breaths. Bringing yourself to the edge of your mat, standing tall in mountain, right from this mountain pose, connecting to your breath, engaging in your belly, supporting your core, shoulders are back, no tension. Deep breaths in, rooting through those feet, taking a second to spread those toes out, getting you a nice base of support. And on your next inhale, let's fan those arms up. And on your exhale, folding forward from the hips. Checking in with the backs of the legs. Is there any tension? Give it a little walk out if there's any tension. Gentle movement. From your forward fold, bringing your hands to your shins. Half lift, gaze out gently in front of you. From that half lift, bending into the knees, sinking your hips back into chair. In your chair, keeping those knees in alignment with the feet. Nothing splaying out to the side. Nice strong legs in chair. Deep breaths. Feeling how sturdy, strong, and confident you are. Releasing chair back up to mountain. From your mountain pose, you're going to take your right leg, stepping it back into a nice warrior one position, arms right up, stretching through that back hip, pushing those hips down, feeling rooted in those feet. Strong warriors. From your warrior one, you're going to push your weight forward onto your front leg, bringing yourself down into warrior two. So reaching your arms out in front of you, back leg coming up to make that T shape. Now if we're working on that, this is warrior three, didn't mean to confuse you there. If you're working on that warrior three, trying to get that even T shape, start working with the arms, slowly bringing that leg up and tilting a little further each time, finding your focus in your warrior three, pushing your limits a little bit. Losing your balance doesn't mean you're not doing well. It means you're pushing yourself for new heights, just like a warrior would. Gently coming out, bringing yourself back up through warrior one to transition, pivoting that back foot, sinking into warrior two, looking down that front arm. Engaging, no loose legs, no loose anything, really engaging through the core, through your legs. Deep breaths through your poses. Extending through that front leg, pivoting now so both feet are pointed slightly out. We're going to bend into our goddess pose. Now, depending on where you are in goddess practice, you might be trying to raise up onto your toes, and you absolutely can. Maybe one toe, maybe both, maybe practicing both, or none. Deep breaths in through goddess. A nice strong pose right here. Releasing out, hands coming down. We're going to step over to the other side of our mat this time. We're going to repeat the same set of poses, just moving the opposite leg. So starting with those feet rooted into the ground, in mountain, deep breaths. Feeling those feet supporting you, core engaged. On your next inhale, fanning those arms up. And on your exhale, folding forward. Checking in, seeing if there's a little bit of a release of tension in the backs of those legs from your first forward fold. Bringing your hands to your shins for half lift, gaze gently out in front of you. Breathing through the poses. From your half lift, bending in through those knees, sinking those hips back into chair. Again, watching to make sure we're not splaying our legs out, our knees are staying pointed forward. Releasing your chair back up to mountain. Few deep breaths in mountain. From your mountain pose, taking your left leg back this time, stepping yourself back into warrior one. Extending energy into those feet, into the ground, and up to the sky through those fingertips. warrior one, again, pushing forward to your warrior three, doing the adjustments that you need to, whether it's just arms, slight leg, or working towards that full T shape. Finding your focus, controlling your breath, working on that balance. Gently releasing back down into your warrior one to transition yourself, pivoting that back leg, sinking into your warrior two, looking down your front hand if you're able to. From there, you're going to extend in your front leg, adjusting the feet so they're both slightly pointed out, sinking into your goddess pose. Again, playing around. Maybe it's both feet flat, taking turns, getting up on those toes. We're starting to work on the balance in both feet. Testing yourself, pushing yourself a little bit more each time. Gently releasing down, arms coming down, bringing your feet together. We're going to work ourselves back down now onto our mat. So taking a second to get situated down on your mat, we're going to head over to our hands and knees on tabletop. And the next little sequence we're going to do, we're going to go through the entire thing 2 times through. So we get double the work here, double the strength, double the confidence. So bringing yourself down onto tabletop, taking a second to check in. Are those hands feeling strong and rooted? Shoulders aligned with the wrists. On a big, taking your nice inhales and exhales. You're going to tuck your toes under. Following your breath, you're going to shoot those hips up. On your exhale to your down dog. Feeling strength through your shoulders. Making that nice mountain shape, peak shape with your hips up. From your down dog, releasing yourself back down to your knees. Adjusting yourself if you need to, or either you have an option to do toe plank, so foot plank, or knee plank. So foot plank, just bringing yourself up onto your feet. Knee plank, keeping yourself rested on your knees, engaging through that core. From here, leaning those shoulders slightly forward, tucking the elbows beside you to belly. Hold for a little rest in belly. I love the little rests in belly. Oh, yes. Every warrior needs a little bit of rest, right? Even the strongest, most confident people need a rest day. From your belly, you have the option, and you can you have the choice to do one and then the other, or you can stick with the same thing each time. Option A is coming up onto your elbows for Sphinx. Option B is tucking those hands under the shoulders, bringing yourself up to Cobra. Engaging the glutes either way, shoulders back and down, supporting yourself through those arms. Breathing through that slight arch position. And releasing down back to belly for just a second. Planting your hands, pushing yourself right back up into tabletop. We're gonna go through the exact same sequence again. If that time you did Sphinx and then this time you wanna try Cobra, you can, or vice versa, you can. Or you can just stick with what you did, but just a little variation if you want a little more or a little less. So from your tabletop position, finding your strength through those arms, tucking your toes under, shooting the hips right up into your down dog. Breathing through your down dog, strong shoulders, engaging the legs, the shoulders, the core, every part of you should be activated. From that down dog, bending through the knees down to your mat, adjusting if you need to, and it's either knee plank or toe plank. Squeezing through that core. From there, tucking those elbows tightly down to belly. Breathing through belly. Just a couple resting breaths. Now your choice, either up onto the hands or onto the elbows for Sphinx or Cobra. Elongating that upper body, engaging your glutes so you're taking the strain off of the back. So nice engaged glutes will reduce the strain on your back. We don't want any back pain here. Just a couple more breaths, releasing back down to the floor for a quick little rest in belly. And from belly, you're going to take those hands, pushing yourself up through tabletop, all the way back into child's pose. Coming out of your child's pose through tabletop. You're going to work your way all the way through so you can have a seat with those legs out in front of you. We're going to do 2 single leg forward folds. So taking your leg, starting with your right leg bending up, sitting tall, just bringing it in. If you need any supports on the knee, just make sure you're putting a block or a pillow, towel, anything that will support the hip and the knee. And we're just going to, from this tall seated position, hinge forward from those hips and fold down that leg. We worked a lot to get those strong, confident poses. Through our feet, up the legs, the arms, the core, every part of us was activated. So as we slow things down now, as we head towards Shavasana, continuing to connect to your breath, embracing your body for all the strong, confident poses it held today. Releasing that fold, bringing it up, switching the legs out. Again, from that nice tall seated position, if you needed to take time to move any props that you needed to help support your leg, please make sure you do that. Folding forward from those hips, down the leg. Releasing that fold, bringing the soles of both feet together now. Sitting tall, butterfly or cobbler's pose. Just Bringing that chest down, again, hinging forward from the hips, so we're not rounding ourselves, but folding that upper body down those legs, feet, butterfly shape. Coming up from that fold, working yourself down and out to recline on your mat for Shavasana. Getting nice and comfortable in that reclined position for Shavasana. And as you're settling into Shavasana, taking a second to congratulate yourself for confidently entering in all of those strong, fierce poses. Taking a few last seconds to check in with your confident self in Shavasana. And with the sound of the bells, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, legs and arms, opening your eyes, waking your body back up from your Shavasana, bringing yourself back up onto your mat in a nice, easy seated position. Deep breath. There's something so wonderful about when you feel confident and connected and trusting in yourself and fearless. It's about feeling that sense of control. So that idea of being able to control your breath and control how your body moves, it starts right on the mat and translates out into the world. And feeling strong, again, holding some of those poses, your warriors, your goddesses, all of those things connect. And the more strength you feel, the more control you feel from inside and from this mat, the more it will translate out to the world around you, and your confidence and your fearlessness and your success will continue to grow. With that in mind, I hope you have a wonderful, confident week ahead of you. Bringing your hands to prayer at your heart center, let's close today's practice with 3 deep breaths. In and out. In and out. Last one. In and out. Thank you so much for your confident building practice today. I wish you all the best. Namaste.